G'day everyone, I'm your host Smile Pie, and today we're playing Railway Empire 2. So we're up to episode 6 in our series of the first scenario, and we'll be reviewing our task list. So you'll remember that last episode we got up to this level of population. Our aim is to reach 60,000 citizens in Albany, and we'll be doing that this video and receiving some more goals. So let's start the game time. And where we're up to is we've got, we're starting to build up a fair bit of money. So we've got some options that we can do. We can start to expand some of our businesses, repay some of our debts, or I actually need to do a bit of housekeeping before we get too further in this video. So after reviewing episode 5, I noticed something. Our veggie train, bloody Smile Pie, he's done the wrong name. So very very embarrassingly was patting himself on the back just after he incorrectly named this train. So let's change that to vegetables. Vegetables. That's how you spell it when you sound it out. Good on you, master of the English language. So now we're taking vegetables from Albany, or to Albany, I should say. And I believe we've got 2 trains. We've got an auction near Ottawa. Do we even want the coal mine? I'm going to say no. Coal mine in Ottawa, you don't need coal until your cities are quite large, and even then, it's at this stage of the game, it's just not worth it. Oh, we must have paid. Oh no, that's our rev. We've had a good week this week with our rev, so good on us. Anyway, banging on about 2 trains on the veggie line. So, a tip for all you newbies out there: if you click on the actual line itself, it shows every train or every rail line that operates on that section of track. So, first train and second train running with their veggies. So, if we were to zoom in, let's check on our old mates. They're running at 8 kilometers an hour, so most of us could bloody run faster than that. Oh, whoops. Come back. So look at them though. They are bloody loving it. So anyway, we don't have time to mess around on trains carrying veggies. So let's get back to some actual serious work. So checking on the supply status of Albany, we're loaded with wheat, we've got corn, we got wood, we got meat, beer's being manufactured. It's not much left in the warehouse or in the production at the moment, so it's running at capacity. So that's a target for upgrade potentially. We got sugar, we got fabric, and we've got everything else. And I think I figured out with the dresses, they're most likely coming from New York, so just overland. Now we've got a train water warning up here, so I must have not put a supply tower on up here at some point in very long ago. So let's put that there. That'll solve that. I also do recall not having a water tower on our fruit tree line, so let's put that in there. That'll fix that. Well, there's one up here, but actually it's that one serves the main line. So good on us. Now, in that time, we've built up to $1 million. We're going all right. Now, the other thing I was thinking to do, I'm just going to buy this wheat farm down here. You can see the utilization's trending downwards. So let's see how much that costs us. 171. We'll get 35% off that, so that'll come back to. I'm not going to do it in time. I'm just too slow in the arithmetic. It comes down to 111,000. Yes, I agree with Bilbo. You can't say that once you've been on the piss. You can't do that scene. Yes, all the other nerds know what I'm talking about. Lord of the Rings, very good. Now, we will need to do something about Syracuse to boost its population. We will need to, get some other deliveries in there. So meat and wood and all of the basic stuff. So corn. So we could run a freight train from Albany and it could pick up some of those items, like later items such as veggies, fruit, cheese, and corn. But and we could potentially run a freight train from Boston to pick up the other types of items here. So meat and wood. Or we could run trains direct from Green Rest, which is the wood station, and have them run all the way over to here. And then if we were to build a warehouse here, then we could deliver wood down to Buffalo and so on and so forth. So I think that would be my preference. I'd rather run a train from here down to Syracuse, a freight train from Boston to Syracuse, and also a freight train from Albany to Syracuse. And we're not going to get much from the return, so possibly we'll take some beer from Syracuse back to Boston. But that's a good idea what we can do. So let's actually do that now while we're waiting for our population in Albany to top up. So we're picking up the wood, we're not picking up cattle, we're making it minimum of 8 carriages. We're doing our naming convention on it. So F1 wood, um, grow up, smile pie. Stop talking about wood. Uh, Make it a freight train, and that is looking good. So, and we'll do 2 because it's such a long journey. So it takes 42 days. So it's going to take ages. And if we want it to supply other cities, we'll start with 2 and see how we go. Now, our old mate's having a yak while I'm talking. So let's let's go and see what he's talking about. So you can see here we've got new tasks. So we've completed our 60,000 in Albany, and now we will review these next 3 items here, and then once we've done that, I'll continue building the Syracuse supply trains, what I was talking about before. So by December 1834, so bear in mind we're in May of 1831, so we've got 3 years, 3.5 years to do that. Now, as fun as it was counting on our fingers to work out or to prove my statement is correct, we're not going to do that this time. I'm going to trust the audience that they can count to 3 in time. So good on yous. You've earned my trust. Not a simple thing to do. You know, the further into middle age you get, the more suspicious of people's capability you become. Trust me. So, and anyway, moving on. So by December 18th, by December 1834, I didn't even read the goal. Connect 3 rural businesses producing grain. Ha ha ha! Wow. We're going to go on a grain farm shopping spree. We've got 2. We need a third one. That's low hanging fruit, so to speak. So that's easy. Now the next one, transport 1835 December. Transport 960 passengers from Syracuse. So that's going to help us. Us sending these supply trains to Syracuse is going to help lift the population there. So that will make us transporting passengers from Syracuse a little bit easier. So that's a good one. And then the final one, construct a university in Albany. So this takes us into like a bit of a mid-game level, I guess. So let's read their hint. My prediction is it'll be very basic, but let's have a go. Hint: a city can have only one city building at a time. That's true, such as a university or library. if there is already a city building in Albany, you will have to demolish it in order to build a university. So that's a simple task. We can't build a university off the top of my head until the population is either 80 or 90,000. Um, but let's go and have a look at that right now. So to build city buildings, you can if you click on your city, any city, you'll see this building icon here. So it says construct city buildings. You'll see the plus symbol there. So if I click on that, much like industry buildings, you can place city buildings within the limits of the city here. So our options, we've got the library. So you need to get over 50,000 citizens. The university, and I think it's 80,000 or 90,000. I'm not going to call it. It's 90,000. There you go. So the purpose of the university can be constructed in cities with over 90,000 citizens, and if required, and is required for cities to grow to more than 100,000 citizens. So essentially, if you don't have a university in your city, they'll just top out at 100,000 people. And from a gaming point of view, it's a convenient mechanism for supply management. So if you deliberately don't build a university in your city, then the number of passengers will remain static, the number of goods demanded will remain static, and you don't have to get on the merry-go-round of exponential growth, which tops out at, you know, it will top out depending on your logistical capability. So, um, so where it stops is how far you want to push it while remaining sane and available to if you don't have other things in your life going on to pursue and you can commit heaps of time to make a logistical monolith in one specific city, you can grow it into a monster. But it's quite daunting to do that, to be honest. But anyway, our goal here is essentially building up Albany to at least 90,000 people, which is always a great thing to do. So scrolling down our list of goods that we'll need to supply in order to help that along. So we're going to need planks. We're going to need liquor. Not a fan of that specific word. It's not used in Australia. It's we're a bit vile over here, so it means other things. Anyway, we're going to need cheese, salt, furniture, and ceramics. Well, we won't need ceramics; they'll just become available once once we've achieved our population goal. So that is the summary of what's coming up. But let's keep going and keep making our freight trains for Syracuse. So we're going to do freighty from NF1 from Boston to Syracuse, and we were going to run two of those actually. So let's do that. So Boston to Syracuse. Now the route works because we bloody know what we're doing, don't we? F2, F2, nice and easy. Boston, Syracuse. Now there's no restrictions. It will the game will automatically select the products it picks from Boston based on the needs in Syracuse, and we don't need to micromanage it. We could micromanage it if we wanted to, but I'm not going to because we don't need to. But that would be a whole video in itself, like micromanaging trains to carry specific products, because you are able to select them carriage by carriage, and it works all right until there's a shortage of one specific good in a warehouse, and then to put it lightly, you just route it after that because your train just sits there like a pelican until it until it gets that one one bloody thing that it's waiting for, and but in that meantime, it stuffs up your whole network surrounding it. So no good. But anyway, we'll run two trains. The game will try and space out the distance between the two trains, which is a really good addition for Railway Empire 2. Now, what else did we say? We said Boston to Syracuse, and we were going to do Albany to Syracuse as well, because once Syracuse grows a bit, some of these other goods, so it can carry corn. So let's do that now. Corn, that to Syracuse. Let's do an F2, and we'll do a John Bull. We only need one. That's going to be a Frady, and we don't need to do anything there. And we'll click OK. And so we're laughing. Later on, if we needed to, we'd be able to put another connection for the milk onto the main line there and run milk direct into Syracuse, but let's not get too carried away. I have a connection bonus up here to the sugar. 300,000. We will be connecting there just for the sake of doing that. And let's have a look at the price. The connection bonus will cover the price. So I'm going to buy this thing because we're getting free money for it. So it means that I'll have to actually use it now. So 90 grand. It'll cost us, the station's going to cost us 50K. It's it's really simple to do. But anyway, let's find another grain farm that we can purchase or tap into. So what have we got? We've got one over here. We could run up to Ottawa. We could, Ottawa and Montreal and buy that over there. We can go up to Toronto and get that one there, or go through to London, which we left provision for. Decisions. Blackmail. Well, we don't negotiate with terrorists on computer games because there's no real consequence, and money is just a man-made creation as well. So I'm not going to pay you any money. You can just piss off. Do you want to pay request amount? No, I'm not paying anything. Lucky you, the blackmailer tried to turn their threat into reality, but was caught in time by your security personnel. So good on us. Now, I'm not going to touch on this very much, but there's this tab up here called Personnel. Now, you're able to essentially mess around with the micromanaging of your staff. So if you were a tight ass and you wanted to save costs on your money, like on your expenses, I should say, you can start to reduce the yeah I guess the occupancy rate of your positions. So, and then that way you save direct costs. But then the downside is you're reducing service, and it's a shitter experience for your customers. So you've got to manage do I want to have a good product versus can I have a cheap product? But you can't have both. So and there's each position is the same So you've got your security personnel, and I won't call them boys or blokes, which I would usually do, but they do have yeah everyone doing security these days to be equal. Anyway, I don't usually bother with the staff management in this game. So just a note to everyone, it exists. If you want to play with it, that no one's going to stop you. But we're here to look at trains and businesses because that's the way I play the game. Right. So where are we up to? We're delivering passengers. So let's have a look at this quarterly report for just a moment. Everything's up, production's up, revs up, expenses are, every time you add train and infrastructure to your business, you're increasing your cost. It's not a bad thing. It's just part of normal growth. So we're running 1.5 mil in profit. So that's good. Good on us. And then some general stats about our capability. So good on us. Now our money's starting to build up. So let's go spend. So connect the third rural business, and Syracuse is building up by itself naturally. So I was going to build let's build a warehouse in Syracuse, and let's put some wood and some meat in there for now, and I'll figure out what we can put else in there later. So I don't think we don't have a train running between Syracuse and Buffalo, but we can later. So what was the other thing I was going to do? I was going to run a grain car from here to Syracuse. So well, that would help. Let's actually build the train from the train screen. So a John Bull, one train, freight. It's an F1 train with grain or wheat. So wheat. And we've got, let's pick that, not that, make it minimum 8. Good on us. And we'll only do one. Let's do one. That'll run now. Now, double checking I've got all the, yeah, I do. The supply towers. I can think of what I can say before I say it, of course. Jesus. Special bus time for Smile Pie. Bloody, what are you trying to dribble, Smile Pie? Bloody get a grip. All right. Well, I'm going to buy this wood business because wouldn't that be nice? Yes. There we go. 45k for nothing. Oh, bugger off. What's this say? Boston and Albany Railroad stock market favourite. Well, of course we are. Bloody Smile Pie's everyone's favourite. Research points. Let's see if there's anything we can do. We can do the detonator. I'll do that now. So increases reliability of your locomotive by 5%, which is good. Next, we've got coming the oil atomizer. So locomotive maintenance is reduced by 5%. So that's nice. And then creative accounting. Hey, this is what we're in business for. The amount of bonds you can issue increases by 10%. Well, we all know whose bloody creative accounting that is then. They can shove that where they know where they can shove it. So we want to try and reduce our debt, actually. Let's do that first. I'm not paying interest. Even if it's made up interest, I'm not paying anyone any bloody interest. They can write off, that's for sure. So let's do this one. And another handy tip you'll notice is the number of bonds that you have increases, or that you can have increases as the value of your company increases. So as I've paid off those bonds, I can now get new bonds if I wanted to. So our cheapo bond, it's running a 4% interest rate. So if I was going to be frugal with my money, and I think we should be, I'll take out this bond and repay that bond because we've got the lower interest rate. That would be So let's just do that. But do I want to? I'll spend 400 at plus that to repay all of that, and that'll leave us only 700 in debt. Let's do that. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to repay that. And now we're down to a debt position of 770,000 with an interest rate of only 4%. So we're minimising our debt somewhat. So that's good. Now unpause that. Now you can see on the line here we do have a fair few trains running. It will be time to start separating passenger trains from freight trains at some stage, pretty soon, I suppose. We'll have to do that soon. But getting back to so we've got planks. I thought we'd built a plank workshop somewhere. Oh, and then we've got liquor. So we'll need to get liquor somewhere. So we've got our plank workshop, or our plank, what do they call it? The sawmill. We've got a sawmill going on in Boston. Boston's up to 72,000 people as well, by the way. So that's quite handy. Um, Now the other thing that we could do, um, we need to get liquor. So Portland itself has this meatworks that we don't own, but to clear a space for a liquor factory, for a distillery, we could buy that. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to buy that in order to create a slot for the distillery. So that's 157 grand. Essentially, we're just purchasing land with that because I'm going to demolish it next. But I want to make sure we've got enough money to build a distillery straight up. So I'm going to demolish that at some point. Actually, let's connect this and run it into Portland, and then that with the connection bonus, we'll get some extra money. And by the time I build this thing, we'll have enough money anyway. So let's put the topography on. So that's pretty easy. We'll have it up this side, and I'll do one platform because we're not gonna, or for now, because we're not gonna really use it all that much. And come on, there we go. So that's nice. And let's run that in like that. So we've got, now with this, we don't need the gridiron because we've got only one platform and one track. And what I'll do is I'll have a sugar train running from there into Portland. So let's call that F1 sugar, F1 sugar, and Mr. Bull, that freight, and we want it to be full. So let's do that. Done. That'll work nicely. Now just checking our supply tower situation. So that sugar train will get picked up by that supply tower. So that's the way to do it. Back to our research. It's available. So let's do the oil atomizer. Yes, before I got off my, I went on my banking rant. Yeah. Next option, mineral oil. So the maintenance requirements of your locomotives are reduced by 5%. Okay, so that train should start filling up with sugar now. Let's double check. Yeah, it will. What is going on? No demand for this good. Oh, because we're already supplying sugar. It's already full, or as we would say in Australia, it is chockers. So let's double check Bangor. We could get away with running a train up to Bangor, but I'd have to put the other connection on. So So let's just do that for now, just so we don't lose our connection bonus, because I will disappear from here and it'll get away from us. Yeah, why is this so crap? Look at it. Let's start from here. Is it a quirk or is it just a? It doesn't like my join. Look, it goes against every instinct and every good feeling that I have, but I will do a subpar connection. 86 kilometers an hour. But small part, the trains don't even go that fast, and they're not going to go that fast ever in this scenario because it's going to finish. I know, but everybody likes what they like, don't they? And that's what I like. I like max curvatures. Anyway, let's change this train so it can get moving and get us you know get us on our way. So um, scrap that and Bangor, you're in the hot seat. Oh, there we go. We're loading up sugar, so that'll get us our nice and sweet, haha, connection bonus of 300,000 for this sugar. So good on us. Now next up, Poland. No, Portland. It's Portland. They keep dropping between just under the threshold. So what do we need up here? We need corn. We need wheat. We need a bunch of stuff up here. So if we had a freight train running from Albany to Portland, that would pick up a lot of that stuff that is currently missing. So let's just go ahead and do that because I'm sick of looking at that down arrow. Um, so let's make ourselves an F2. So F2, that's the naming convention. That will self load. Freight. Choose a train. Let's get two of them. Let's be wild. There we go, and that'll sort itself out. So Albany, let's see. Let's keep it on screen. We'll see what it loads up. Are you telling me it's not going to load anything up? Albany, you disappoint me. Jeez. All right. So look, the problem that we got here, we don't have enough beer. Zero beer, zero cheese. So someone's taken the cheese now. Let's upgrade the brewery. So we got $1 million. Resize the industry. So to upgrade, we need to spend $419,000. Let's do it. It's going to make 8.5 or 8.4 thousand per week, or $8,400. We've already made this much profit so far, so and it had paid for itself, but now we're just getting up to. We'll need to get up to 636,000 to make it to outgrow our investment that we've made, which it does build up quite quickly. So that'll go by in no time, and we'll make our money back. In the meantime, the brewery will utilize an increased number or amount of grain, and so we could have a think about is the wheat train to Albany, is one going to be enough? Now, actually, looking at this, is the level one grain going to be enough? And I don't think it is. So you can see here, we bought this for 84,000. We've made 228,000 so far. Let's up the level because we need more grain. So let's do that. We've spent 293,000 in total. In no time at all, that rev is going to surpass what we spent on it. Creative accounting, 640,000. I'm not going to do it. Or should I? I can't anyway because I don't have any money. Oh well, I don't have enough money. I need some creative accounting to generate some money to purchase that. But I don't think it can be done. So we're just going to have to use our research points when they build up. Now, we were in the midst of we were looking to demolish this meatworks in order to build the distillery. And for the distillery, we'd use this sugar farm and we'd use fruit from this fruit farm or orchard over here. What do they call it? Just farm. Um, well, you can pick your words. But like for example, the orchard here, we've already exceeded in profit our purchase cost. So good. It's good business. Good business is where you find it. Um, thank you, Dick Jones of OCP. Yes, so I think we've got enough money now. We can click on our meat industry and we will demolish that. Do you really want to? You're bloody right, I do. And oh, now our little quirk, we do have to grow this town up to 40,000 to re. I should have checked that, shouldn't I? Smile pie, you bloody dickhead. And the other thing we've got a bottleneck in our Boston station. So let's turn the topography on. That'll help us see a bit clearer. Well, it won't help us see the trains, but we got a broken down train, so that's the problem. But now they're moving in. So what have we got? We've got a wood train. We've got the F2, which is carrying bugger all. We're going to be another F2, which has got some dresses. The passengers. Now, the other thing that we've neglected is with our passenger, we could probably run more express trains, given the population now. So it's not giving us stats for our destinations here, which I don't understand why it doesn't do that. But we do have more people in the city, so let's just add another another train to each of the express lines. So up to there, Port, Boston. What express line? Let's do that to. So they're chockers both ways. So let's make that 4 trains. So that'll increase the passenger rev between Albany and Boston. So that's important. Yeah, we're not bloody growing. We need some stuff to be taken up to. So I guess the other train that we could increase is our F2. So we've got 2 of those. What are they actually carrying? One's carrying 1 beer and one veggie. So will that be enough to boost us? I'll click back on there. Now, does that get our fulfillment up? So we don't have meat, we don't have grain, we don't have corn. We should be able to pick up. That the Albany train should have been able to pick up some of that stuff that we need. So because it's in the warehouse. So looking at our warehouse just to make sure I've done it right. So we're just running low on stock. So F2 Albany to Portland. So we got one that's going to Albany, and we got another one that's going to Albany. So it took off from Portland first. And it's bottlenecked in. It's bottlenecked here, and it's because I added the some of the passenger trains, I guess, as well. I'm sure that would be contributing to it. But yeah, as the game develops, and I've touched on this before, and I'm moving the screen around a bit. Your stations become uh, busier. Your cities become busier. So I think in the next episode, uh, I'll I'll be running. We're going to need to do something about Boston and Albany station. So we're going to need to um, separate the passenger and freight trains between Albany and Boston, and we'll also that Syracuse goal that's gonna meet itself. The grain business we can do that. We can do that at any time. It's not a drama, but we'll do that sooner rather than later. But to grow Albany to 90,000, we'll need to. Oh, near Toronto. Let's have a look at that one. Too far away. I'm not going to buy it. So you can see over here, we're right over here, and our railway empire is back over here. So I'm just not gonna worry about that one. We've also got another bit of research we could potentially do. So we can save up for the 300 that we need, or we can take the 200 and then get the train going this way. So the Durham or Dunham. It's a mixed train, so it would we would upgrade all of our rail stock to that train. I'd suspect because it's faster than the Mr. Bull train. Looking at our rev situation, we're bloody killing it. But then again, we got a 300,000 bonus, but we are up over everything. Mail's static, but passengers and freight. Staff costs, so we're doing all right in the income uh, section, but I think we're going to need to pause the yeah to pause the video now, and we'll all reconvene in episode 7. So if you've made it this far, thank you for joining us for this episode of the scenario, and please remember to like, subscribe, comment. Comment about anything you like. Tell us where in the world you're watching from. And remember, with small bites, any pie can be eaten.